Okay, now we're onto our loop, which loop through each checkbox that has been selected here, and it's going to send specific emails for each record. Now what's going to happen is, let me just explain the process. Now when we loop through, we're going to check how many of these have been pressed, so 1 or 2, or just 1 in this, can just be 1 or 2 in this case. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to grab firstly the email address, then it's going to grab the name, and for each record that has been selected, so for each checkbox that has been checked, it's going to send an individual email. So let's say we have them both checked. The first thing it's going to do is send an email to alexheadon@hotmail.com. It's going to address me by Alex, and then when that's sent, this message to this person here, it's going to come on and it's going to loop through again to this next record. It's going to send an email to this email address and address me as Alexander, and again it's going to send this message. So it's sending a message for each person that's pressed, not the same message to everyone that was selected. So that's where the privacy comes in. So we're going to say for x, we're going to make up a variable for x equals 0, and then we're going to say while x is smaller, and we're going to count the amount of get variables that were posted. So in this case it's just going to be 1 or 2. Here we can select one of them, either that one or that one, or we can select both of them. And then we're going to say x plus plus, so x will increment each time this loop runs through. Okay, so inside here, what we're doing is we're checking for the existence of a specific get value. So we need an if statement and a block of code to run if this statement is true. And the statement is $_get, and inside here we are saying mail _x. Now this is significant, and if you remember this structure from this page here, we had mail _count. Remember, this started at 0, this is starting at 0, and it's counting up for the amount that we've selected, so it could be either 1 or 2, where this here is either 1 or 2 because we currently have 2 records, and then we're applying this into here. So we're basically saying if _get mail 0, which you can see, let me just bring this page up here, is there, so oh no, there, mail 0, so if this exists, so if it has been selected, let's go back to our code, then we're running this script. The next time it will run through, x will equal 1, so if mail _1, so we're checking again for mail 1, so really we're checking for the existence of each checkbox that could have been selected. Okay, so as we're checking for each one that's been selected, if none are selected, then this if statement will fail and we'll go on to something else. So we're going to say else die. In fact, we'll leave this out for now, but you get the idea. If this is true, so if at least one has been selected, then it will loop round and go to another one after this has been executed here. So if getMail _0 will be first, if getMail _1 will be second, and then so on. But obviously, because we're counting here, we're not going to have more than 2 that have been posted because we've only got 2 here. Hopefully that makes sense. It's quite hard to understand, but it does work really well. Okay, so now that that's worked, we're going to say a mail setup because we're ready to send the email now, which is quite exciting. First one will be 2, and this is just going to be $_get, and inside here, and remember we're using double quotes here, this is going to be mail _x, as this will be like the value of mail _0 or 1. Remember the values are like alexheadon@hotmail.com here, and the ACA, OAAG, blah 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 here. So that's the 2. So we're firstly inside. Remember, this is all inside a loop. So the first email we're sending is to the first person selected on the list here. So this is alexheadon@hotmail.com. And the subject of the email, well, that's up to you. You can choose what you want. I'm just going to call this news letter. And then we have a body. Now what this basically does is it gives the body of the email. So I'm going to say dear dot and concatenate the $_get, and remember we used name underscore, these need to be like that, $_x, so really we're getting the name of the same variable, like this will be naught the first loop round and this will be naught the first loop round. So you can see that inside our code here we're matching naught, this name here, to naught, this email here. So mail naught is this email address, and the name naught will always match the owner of that email address, if that makes sense. Okay, so dear blah blah blah, and then dot, and we need 2 line breaks here. I've just pulled this down if you wondered why I did that. 2 line breaks with a / and n, and then we need our message. Now we haven't actually taken our message in from the last page yet, but the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to say get message to send, and then I'm just going to say message equals $_post and message. Remember we called our text area message. Let me just show you there, name equals message. Okay, so we have got the message here inside a variable, and we're just going to plonk that straight inside there. We don't need to concatenate it on because we don't have a complex like construct like this. We just have a single variable name, and then we can do 2 more line breaks, and I'm just going to say PHP Academy. That's basically going to be my footer. You can include to just get rid of this and say you can say hello everyone, PHP Academy, or from PHP Academy, or from whatever your website's called, or whoever you're sending this to. Okay, so that's about it for that. We can bring this just back up here for neatness, and that's our body there. And then we're going to say incorporate the mail function straight into this, and we're going to say to, then subject, then body, and then headers. So let's just run through this quick. To is the email address we're sending it to, so the first person in this loop, the first checkbox that's been selected. The subject is our standard subject just inside a string. Our body is inside a string, and we've concatenated our name in there from our loop, so the matching email address to that. And then our message, which we have up here, that's been posted through, or rather get through, because we're using our get method, remember. And then we're putting our headers in, and our headers, if you look up here, are just from admin@php.com. A lot of mail servers do require that you have a header with the from tag in there. So our mail function is done, and then we're just going to put underneath here echo all mail has been processed. Not email has been sent, because we might get errors up here sometime, and then this will be echoed out anyway, so we can't say all email has been sent. That doesn't make sense because it might not have been sent. Okay, so that's the end of that part. In the next part I'm going to be testing this, and if I have made any mistakes I'll be correcting that, and you can probably laugh at me. Okay, so I'll see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.